Alrighty, welcome to our Tuesday live. Please confirm that you can see me and that you can hear me. Thank you so much for joining me today. And it is welcome to the cathedral. My name is Wendy Ologi, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Once you confirm that you can see me and you can hear me, we're going to go straight to the conversation of the day. And the conversation of the day says how help my child is driving me nuts. Help, my child is driving me nuts. Who is excited to be here to learn how to stop your child from driving you nuts? Please, let's see your comments in the comment section. Alrighty, I can see comments, but I cannot see anybody confirming yet that they can see me and that they can hear me. This is important so that we will be sure. All right, can I be heard? Alrighty, so Gladys, can you hear me? Who can hear me? Who can see me? Let me please confirm that. Loud and clear. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for confirming that you can see me and that you can hear me. I am so grateful to have you here. Remember to share to your friends, your family. It is going to be that hot class again as usual. And hey, Yadas, I see you all. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And, whenever I hear parents say, oh, these children are driving me crazy, it's a very common word. These children are driving me crazy. Yes. At one point or the other, you see a lot of parents say that. But the question I usually ask is, are the children really driving you crazy? Or are you driving yourself crazy? That's what we're going to be discussing today. How to stop your children from driving you crazy. Since you decided that the children drive you crazy, we're going to be learning how to do that. Now, a lot of the times, children driving you crazy come from, a lot of things. There are so many things that happen. That's when you remember, oh, my children are driving me crazy. And, this happening and all of that. And I'm going to be discussing with you how we can deal with that. What happens when your children are driving you crazy? What is really the issue? What is really, the problem? All right. And when we begin to look at that, we would also look at how you can make this work. Because the whole idea is for you to learn what you can do differently. Tell me where you're streaming live from so that I would also know the people that I'm talking with. I am streaming live from the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja. All right. Tell me where you are streaming live from. And if this is your first time, put first time in the comment section and make sure that you have invited somebody to this stream. Share the link. You're going to have a fulfilled time. It's going to be one of the best 1 hour you've spent as regards you and your parenting journey. Now, a lot of the times you say these things when, number one, you are afraid. Now, many parents, get to a point to get to your wit end. First of all, parenting is a very rigorous job. Don't even get it twisted. Now, parenting is not just a rigorous, but it's also very rewarding. Very, very rewarding. So at every point in time, there are emotions that flood the parenting, the whole parenting thing. All right. So we are always emotional about parenting, which is why I say that when it comes to parenting, if you're not working on your emotions, you might actually be looking at failing ineffective parenting without even knowing that. Now, the most important job of a parent is staying encouraged. Somebody help me write that. Because no matter how you want to look at it, you are going to get discouraged. So I'm not saying it because I am a prophet of doom. I am saying it because that's how parenting is. Parenting is that tough. So you get to a point where you are just discouraged. Somebody reached out to me and said, I don't know if it will be a bad thing for me to say I hate to be a parent. Sometimes you actually feel that way. I don't know how many of you have felt discouraged on this journey. If you have, let me see your comment in the comment section. Where you're getting to a point, you just feel, you know what? I'm just done. I just don't like this, whole thing. I wish I didn't even start this journey in the first place. So you begin to feel discouraged. You begin to feel, tired. You get to that point where you're feeling, after all these things that I'm doing and all of that. So one of the greatest tools in parenting is staying encouraged. And how do you stay encouraged? You don't stay encouraged out of the blues. And that's why we say that being in a parenting academy, it's no longer a question of should I or should I not. It is now compulsory. Because right now, there are a lot of things that actually make you feel discouraged. So at every point in time, you actually need a system that encourages you. So if you do not have that system that encourages you, you will find out that you will begin to struggle. And finally, the truth is that you will begin to hate being a parent. And the worst thing that can happen to you is to start, hating being a parent. Is a terrible place to be. Is a terrible place to be. So when you get to that point, everything just, falls apart. That's one of the reasons that the most important job of a parent is staying encouraged. That's the most important job that you have. Staying encouraged. And if you do not have that system that helps you to keep staying encouraged, you will begin to actually lose it. Now, what happens all the times when you say that your children are driving you crazy is that, number one, you lack knowledge on what to do. So you get to a point where your children do so, you don't even know what else to do. And the first thing you blurt out is, these guys are driving me crazy. Fear. I said number one was fear. And I said number two was knowledge. Now, lack of knowledge is part of the things that transmits to fear. Many of the times, we don't even know that we're afraid. And that's why we take the steps that we take. So you get to a point where you're thinking, okay, I'm here now. I don't know what else to do. And then fear grips you because you're thinking, right now, I am afraid. I don't even know what was going to happen to my children. And then you pour that frustration. I'm tired of all of this. And then you're discouraged. That's another thing that can make you feel like your children are driving you crazy. You're already doing the things that you're trying to do. I said fear, number one. Number two, knowledge. Number three, discouragement. You're already feeling, like, okay, I've done everything that I know how to do. And then your children is continuing in the misbehavior. They are doing the same thing. I see parents that have said, I have flogged my child. I have shouted. I have done everything. It's not everything that you have done. You have done everything within your knowledge capacity. So when parents come to me and they say, I've done everything, I say, no, you have done everything you know. So you begin to feel discouraged. That's when you begin to say, oh, my children are driving me crazy. Another point is when your children disappoint you. A child that you have done, and according to us, when we say, I've just done everything. I quit my job because of my children. Let me say this to you. You can quit your job all you can. And if you do not have the required knowledge, you'll be frustrated. So it is not in the things, the steps you're taking, is in the skills that you're acquiring to make sure that those steps are actually fruitful. So I see a lot of parents say, I'm always at home. I thought I'm connected. You can be at home 24 hours and you never connect with your children because you do not have the tools available to you to actually be able to do the things that you're supposed to do. So I've seen stay-at-home moms whose children are, always stressing them out. No, it's not because you're not available. No, it's because you don't have the required skills and tools. I have parents who are in the military, in the academy, in the inner circle. I have parents who are in the bank, in the inner circle. Sometimes I look at these parents and I look at, the systems they've been able to build in their homes, and I'm proud. So it's not necessarily about, oh, I'm a busy parent. I'm not an idle parent. All right. But it is in the knowing the tools. So you can just say, I hear parents say, I'm staying at home because of my children. Beautiful choice. Nice choice. I've had to do, all of that in one time or the other. But the question will be, do you have what is required to actually make that being stay at home mom or father for your children productive? If you don't, it's blabberdash. That's the truth. And I see that happen every time. So the problem in parenting is not just connectivity or presence. The problem is being present with tools and skills. Let me say that again. The problem in parenting is not just connectivity and presence. The problem with parenting is being present with skills and tools. A parent who is present with skills and tools will trump a parent who is, present without skills and tools, no matter how much time the other parent puts in. So it's not really a function. When parents in the academy, when parents come into the academy, there was some parents reach out to me and say, I don't really have time to actually do it. It's lack of knowledge, really, because it is in the systems you actually are able to create time. So if you are a parent in that place where you're saying, I don't have time, it means that there's something wrong with your parenting system in itself. Let's move forward. Now, children, without encouragement, you cannot enjoy parenting. Now, children are like archery. I am a student of the Bible. I'm a Christian. So I'm going to use the Bible to make examples for you. I do that always. So if you're not a Christian, just listen to it. Take the Bible as a book of study. All right. And in the Bible, it talks about children being an arrow in the hands of, of you as the parent. Now, what we do not understand is about archery is that archery requires, all right? Archery requires that you aim, you stay focused, and then you shoot. Apart from being able to have the skills. So you have the skills, whatever it is that you need to do. You need to aim, you need to stay focused, and you need to shoot. So sometimes parents say, I've read this, I've done this. Let me tell you what the Inner Circle program does for you. It gives you that system where you stay focused and where you keep aiming, because you can have all of the knowledge that you will not be able to actually stay focused, to aim and also to shoot. So it requires a lot of encouragement. It requires a lot of direction. It requires a lot of focus, and it requires a lot of skills. So if you're going to be, doing archery, which is what the scripture says about us parenting, right? It means that you need direction, which is 1. You need focus, which is 2. You need skills, which is 3. And then you need mindfulness. Direction. If somebody is not showing you the road, you can go around in circles and never reach them. I like the way my pastor says it, and coincidentally today is his birthday, Bishop Davido Oyedepo. He says that no matter how long you face the road going to Makurdi, and with the aim from Abuja, you face the road going to Makurdi with the aim of reaching Ilorin. You're never going to get to Ilorin except you turn back and take another way. And the truth of the matter is, the person who is being led will get to the place faster than the person who is not being led. It's not the same direction. On your journey as a parent, are you being led? Or are you just finding your way? Now, the risk of finding your way is that you're going to make a lot of mess. Unfortunately, for parenting and for human beings, you cannot afford to, because some of those mistakes, you can't turn them. And that is the real risk. Today, we've been doing reviews for parents in the inner circle for this cohort. And I was in a review session with a particular parent that she told me how, her whole system was a mess before she got into the academy. And she said to me, Coach, I used to think that actually seeking direction was, something that why do I need to ask anybody to help me on how to be a parent? Why do I need to do that? And she said when she came in, her son was diagnosed with autism, but autism that was not induced by developmental issues, by the screen. Screen autism is a thing. That's the latest research and study. And she said, look at all of the mess I've made just because of lack of knowledge. And hey, knowledge is not free. My scripture said, buy the truth and sell it not. You buy it. No, it's not free. So all of the, I'm going to find the way myself, it's fine. Then, of course, you're going to swim into all of the waters and you end up, making mistakes. Unfortunately for your child, you might not have that luxury. Number 2, focus. Focus means that even when you're going this way, somebody is pulling you and saying, no, this is where you're going. Unfortunately, what the word does for you is that when you're parenting, all right, when you're parenting, the world is pulling you on different sides and judging you. The world is pulling you on different sides and judging you. What a system does for you, like the TIP Academy, is to make you stay focused. So sometimes you meet some people, your friends might even tell you, oh, you're overdoing. What are you even doing? All of these things for parenting, just for parenting. We were once told some 10 years ago that our life revolves around parenting. Yeah, after salvation for my husband and I is how our children are growing up. And 10 years, down the line, everybody is coming back to us. So, hey, what are you guys doing? What have you done with your children? Please, we need to learn. All right. So focus. How do you remain focused? The question is, losing focus is a very common thing. So by the time everybody is pulling you from every side, you're already discouraged. And then when you remember they're going to be judged, a parent was telling, we were having a review session in level 3 yesterday on the book we're reading. And, a parent was saying, when we do what we do from the academy, parents don't understand it. But it's okay. We are fine with it because we are focused. We know where we're going. So intentional parenting is not the parenting of, whether it will work or not. No. We know where we're going. Knowledge is knowing with exactitude the outcome of a thing. When you don't know the outcome of a thing, that's not knowledge. So I tell the parents at dinner, I said, what we teach is that we arm you with knowledge. We know what that will produce if you make use of it. We're not guessing, we are sure. So focus. And for you to stay focused, you need encouragement. You need a system that tells you can do it. Don't worry about that. You must be doing it. You can. You have what it takes. You need people who will cheer you at every point in time. The next thing is skills. You really cannot give what you do not have. Over the weekend, there was a trend of Bishop T.D. Jakes and the daughter. And it was a moment for every single one of us who watched that video or who follow the Jakes. And one thing was very, very, very key. The father had the blessing to pass on to the generation. If you don't have it, you can't give it. If you do not have it, you can't give it. You can only give what you have. So the question will be, what skills do I even have to be able to stay, to be able to actually position myself to throw that arrow so that it will hit his target? The point is the bullseye. This arrow that I'm throwing, will it really hit the bullseye? That's the question. Do you have the skills to position yourself, to be able to stretch, to be able to do it? Recently, I was on vacation and we went to a bowling pole. And I can't even remember how to hold the ball. The first shots that I made, 3 of them were just a mess. I didn't have the skills. You can't give what you do not have. The secret. And then the last one is mindfulness. I tell the parents in the inner circle that a parent, an intentional parent is a thinking parent. An intentional parent is a thinking parent. So you're mindful. You think through the decisions you want to make. You don't just wake up because everybody is doing it. I see a lot of people, I see a lot of social media posts, and I see a lot of raving, and I smile. Some of those things are outright wrong, that will lead parents to the bush, and I see it happening. Unfortunately, you can't control what the internet, dishes out. As much as the internet is a blessing, is also a curse in disguise. There's a lot out there that people are assimilating that they have no business assimilating. So the secret to effective parenting would be direction. Who is directing you on the journey? All right. You need a direction. You need someone to actually direct you. Number 2 will be focus. You need an encouragement. You need a system that helps you to tell you that you need to keep your eyes on the ball. That's what we do in the academy. When parents come, I will say, tell you, keep your eyes on the ball. You're going somewhere. Those people do not know where you're going. And the third one is skills. You need to be able to know what to do, how to deliver on the task and on the assignment. And the last one is mindfulness. You need to stay in your assignment, thinking through every step of the way. And some questions that I ask the parents in the inner circle, if I ask it out here, I'm sure everybody's going to, have jitters and all of that. Every time I ask the parents in the inner circle, if you die today, all this you're screaming and shouting, who will do it? So it means that you need something more sustainable than jumping up and down. You need something more sustainable. And that's what it is. That's what parenting systems are about. So why do you feel the way you feel? All right? Why do you feel the way you feel when you get to a point where you're screaming, my children are driving me crazy? Why do you even get to that point? I'm going to be sharing with you 5 points that gets you to that point. And if you are listening to me, all right, and you haven't invited anybody, do that now as we are going on. And if you want to join the Inner Circle program, you're going to see the details scrolling right under the screen, right? You can screenshot, you can put it, all of that. The fee is 70,000 naira. As soon as we have the cohort filled, I think we'll have just a few slots. All right. Recently we had to open, a slot because we had a, system, all right, a pressure that was coming in, and parents were like, we've been waiting and all of that. For your information, we have over 1,500 parents as at today. So you don't join the training, it's fine. You join next year. The next cohort starts on the 1st of December next year. You can start on the 1st of December this year. Every single time, every single minute matters when it comes to parenting, because every second your child is growing. Every second your child is growing. So why do you feel this way? So let's go there. Number 1 is lack of structure. Many of you parent without any structure. Nothing really. No, whatever it is. Let me tell you what lack of structure does. We call it in the inner circle two terms that stem from the language, the Nigerian language system. Number one term is achikote ekuono parenting. If there's an Igbo person here, do an inscription of the writing. I'll put it on the screen. Number two term is salama kind of parenting. So both of them means just doing things anyhow. Just doing things like, you know what? We just they do, they go. And that's what causes overwhelm. That's what causes overscheduling. That's what causes underscheduling. That's what causes a lot of the pressure. So you're on social media, you're scrolling, you see that your friend's child, they've registered for coding. Your friend now comes and says, oh, my children can now code. They've got, boom. You just run, coding, that's the next thing. Where did you register? You register your children, bam. Another person goes, you belong to a parenting group. Oh, they've shared that their children are now doing swimming, and now you boom, bam, you register your children. Or you go, they share that, when they wake up in the morning, this is what they do. Tips and hacks. Tips and hacks. Thank you so much. Tips and hacks. You just tip here, hack there. I heard Coach Wendy say it. You don't pick it. You say, I'm going to practice it. There's a limit to it. If you do not commit to a process, a system, you're going to continue to get overwhelmed. So your parenting needs a proper system to put it all together. So everything you see in a group is good. Everything you run with it. You don't even consider your children. You don't even know who you are parenting. Do you even know that it's not every child will code, for crying out loud? You don't even know. You just see me and say, coach said that our children are cooking. You just run. And just everything, just everywhere. And at some point, it just reaches you here. So anyhow, kind of parenting, lack of structure, it will overwhelm you. It will overwhelm you. Because all this, you just do this one. They are doing it. Everybody's doing it. And you're constantly on social media, searching this parenting group, searching this, searching this on Google. That you will overwhelm yourself. You will overwhelm yourself. There is a way. And that's why the Bible says that the journey of a foolish person wearieth them, because they do not know how to get to the city. There is a way to the city. The moment you don't know the way to the city, you get weary, you get discouraged, and you get overwhelmed. Number two, parenting on probability. What I call lack of knowledge. That's how they raised us now. After all, that's what my parents did. What are they even saying? We turned out okay. Probability. Yep. You do not know with exactitude the outcome of your parenting. So you say things like, Piki wego, how do they say? Piki wego good, go good. It's not about what I do. That's foolishness, really. Because God gives you a child and trust that the child is going to fulfill destiny. And you say that Piki will go good, go good. Are you kidding? On its own, that's foolishness. So those kind of words, when I see it, people write those things on social media. You follow, you rave. Oh, wow, that's true. After all, my parents did this one, did that one. And yet, my brother didn't turn out okay. This is me. Is it not the same system? Me, I turned out okay. Your parents lacked knowledge. Knowledge is knowing with exactitude. Knowing with exactitude, you know where you're going. It's not, I am not sure. So when people say, after all these things, are you sure your children? What's that? I am sure. Just call it pride. I don't know what it is that you're going to call it. I know what it is that I'm doing. It's not probability. It is intentionality. How do you know you're parenting on probability? Number one, what are the signs? You're always frustrated. Always frustrated. These children, parenting is hard. These children are killing me. and you are just always frustrated. Number two, you're always complaining. Always complaining. Oh, it's all about your children. Oh, they have not done this. Oh, they've not learned that. You are always complaining. You're parenting on probability. You always feel discouraged. You don't have any system that helps you to keep you on track. You're discouraged. You're parenting on probability. You feel like you don't have enough time. You see that thing? I don't have time. I'm a very busy person. It's parenting on probability. Because if you parent on intentionality, then you understand the place of essentialism. And you are able to actually put what is essential for time on your journey. It's not time management. What's time management? Or people will say work-life balance. Balance is a myth. And that's why in the Nigerian palace, I like that word. It says this life, no balance. You know, fit care balance. This life, balance. Another thing is you're always afraid. I don't know if my children will even turn out well, though. Oh, something happens. Oh, your child just says something. He has lied. He's going to become a thief. You're parenting on probability. Don't know what you're doing. That's why you're reactive, not proactive. You can't remember any fun thing that you did with your children. You can't even remember. Your home is full of chaos. You can't remember, sitting down and having a conversation. Most families don't have conversations. All of what you do is instructions, criticism, judgment. From the time you are coming from your car horns, you're complaining about the spoon that is on the table. You're complaining about how they did not clean the room. You're complaining about how they've not read. Oh, then you now say, this thing you did, you didn't do it well. The ones that they've done, you judge it. The ones that they didn't even try, you criticize it. So your communication with your children, and you're going to go all the way, and then you go to your room, take your bag, say, I just want to rest. Please, I just came back from work. I've worked too hard. Shut your door. No form of conversation, communication didn't happen. Just told your children what to do. Parenting on probability. You blow things out of proportion. Small things happen. A child had gone to school and had picked something. Okay, mistakenly, the child comes home. Oh, the child has become a thief. Oh, you call this person. You call that person. You're just everywhere. You're parenting on probability. You speak sometimes and you see yourself resenting your children. You get to a point where the things your children do actually annoy you to the point of resenting them. Yes, I have had a lot of parents. I've done this for years, so I know what I'm saying. All right. The next one is you have power struggles with your children. You're constantly in a fight. Every time there is power struggle, is it that they looked at you? I spoke somehow, you looked at me from the eye. Oh, you looked at me in the eye. Oh, you did not look down. Oh, you looked up. And then there's constant power struggles with your children. And then the next one is that you cannot even say no. You can't say no. You have a problem with saying no, because you're not even trained yourself. Because many of the times you don't understand your decisions. That's another sign. So it makes you permissive. Anything the children do is okay. Let them just be doing it. That's the other extreme. Let them just do whatever it is that they want. You're parenting on probability. The last one, you feel guilty all the time for your decisions. You feel guilty all the time for your decision. All right, you told your children not to go to that neighbor's house, go to neighbor's party. And then you sit down, you're like, I don't know if I made the right decision. I remember that I read somewhere the other day in one post. Oh, they said we should just allow children to just be going out everywhere. You are parenting on probability. You don't even know what is right or what is wrong. You're parenting on probability. You make those decisions because you're not sure which one is the right one. Sometimes, I make some decisions and somebody was like, so one of my staff in the office came to me and said, Ma, you allowed the children to actually, go your way and all of that. And she said, you didn't feel, I'm like, why? Well, there's no reason to, because you are not, all right, parenting on probability. Let's move. This is parenting on probability. Number 3, you can't control your emotions. You can't control your emotions. All right. And your emotional control, I've said this before, is the bedrock of planning. So we become reactive instead of proactive when we scream. Let me tell you a bit of what happens in the brain when all of that happens. Now, here is a little something that happens to your brain. When you're stressed to the maximum and you're totally about to lose it, and you're highly emotionally triggered. Now, this is for the person who do not have emotions control. Your prefrontal cortex, that's the back. So it happens to everybody, but the ability to actually check it is what matters. Your prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain that does all of what we call the higher function skills. So things like logic, things like predicting outcome of words and action, things like impulse control, things like decision making, things like focusing on your attention, things like processing feelings of empathy, things like shame, things like guilt, things like that's a part of the brain that gets flooded with the same stress hormone. And then this stress hormone puts you in a fight or a flight mode. At this point, your nervous system, I hope I'm not confusing you so much with my medical jargons, all right? I try to bring science into my teaching. I have a medical background. So I try to make it, sink so that you understand that it's not out of, the human system. Now, your nervous system has kicked in and you are no longer the normal you. Now, to your body, it's the same as being charged like a bear. You will not think or act or speak like a normal you. And it's not your best self. It's your biology. Now, this is the driving me crazy feeling that you feel. So because under stress, we regress. We either shut down or we lash out. And let me tell you the thing about shutting down. Sometimes, we say things like, oh, I just keep quiet when my children do things. Because you've not learned how to actually solve your problems, okay? You use that as a weapon. Use that as a weapon. You weaponize that process. So instead of teaching your children emotions control, you weaponize it and use it as a blackmail. So your children grow up not knowing how to actually solve problems. So something happens, your child, that's why you see men, marriages. A man is doing something, he gets angry, he just walks away. He was not taught how to put his emotions in check and have conversations. Because that's what his parents did, apparently. So that's the other end of, I didn't say anything, I shut down. So is either a flight or a fight mode. Whichever one of it, all right, you need to understand what is happening to you. So you need to recognize that you are being flooded. Now, what does emotions control do for you? Emotion control do for you, what it does for you is that you are able to get into your own calm. So at this point, you've gotten to this place. The difference between an emotionally intelligent parent and the one who isn't in control of their emotions is that I will now deploy the tools to use to be able to process my calm. But you will not be able to deploy those tools because you don't have it. You cannot give what you do not have. Are you following me? And is this making sense to you? And if you are, let me see you hit the like button of this video and make sure that you share. Remember to follow us on our YouTube videos. We have a lot of videos. Our YouTube video is, our YouTube stream is actually called The Parenting Netflix. And trust me, when you get in here, you can actually, get into the Netflixing system. So if you share this link with your friends and family, let me see your comment in the comment section. And if you're following and this is rewarding to you, let me see your comment in the comment section. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Okay, thank you. I can see almost 200 parents. Almost 200 parents watching live and exciting. Thank you so much. We need to make parenting knowledge go viral because unfortunately for us, we cannot go anywhere without that. All right. And today I was listening to the minister, the minister, the current minister of education in Ghana. And he was saying something that struck me. And it didn't just strike me, it's something I have taught in the inner circle over the years. He said he's been to schools and he's been teaching children. And every time he finishes teaching, he raises his hand. I'm going to share that video on my timeline. He raises his hand, all right? And the moment he raises his hand, do you have any question? He said he's been to over how many schools, and no child has ever said, sir, please, I have a question. And you know what we're doing? Unfortunately, we're raising people who can't think. And this is exactly what our parenting system is about. You can't memorize yourself out of poverty. Those were his words. You can't memorize and pass exam. We're raising children who can pass exam. I have said severally that hiring a lesson teacher, people have held me to it, and it's not the way to raise a child who can think. The moment you begin to even do all of that, you raise a child who won't be able to independently put systems in perspective. And it's a terrible thing. The African education, the African parenting is about taming a child. And what you're doing is parenting by taming. That's horrible. You're raising an idiot. If you're parenting by just taming your children, all you think about is how you're going to be in control. That's a horrible parenting style. And that's a parenting style that is going to actually put you in a place of failure. We must begin to teach assertiveness. We must begin to do what I call, parenting with system, with assertiveness laced into it. We must teach our children to challenge status quo respectfully. And when my children come to me and challenge what the other is, I am glad. My father told me one of those days, he said, I'm glad that I raised people who could butt head with me in the past. And I've seen where it is that it's taking you guys. My father allowed us to be able to butt head with him. You must allow your children to be able to think. If not, you will raise a zombie. So when I ask parents, what's the most important, future for you to actually raising a child, they tell me, I just want an obedient child. If you're listening to me and your aim is raising a child who is obedient, then you're in the wrong place, right? You need to raise a child who can think, and that's the first and the foremost thing that should be at the back of mind, right? Obedience is good, but goodness is just one aspect of godliness, and that's holiness. That's what it is. So let's not just focus on one thing, all right? The Bible says that godliness is profitable unto all things. What are the other things that your children need to know? All right? Thank you so much. So let's continue. All right. So do you want to control your child, or do you want them to learn self-control? There are two different things. Do you want to control your child, or do you want them to learn self-control? When you scream, what you're telling your children is that I want to control you. That's what you're telling them. When you bring out that cane and you're raving like one bear, you are actually telling your children that, you know what? I just want to control you. I don't want you to have self-control. Our discipline is laced with a lot of control instead of self-leadership. Self-leadership. So your children are not driving you crazy. You are driving yourself crazy. And number 5, lack of encouragement, but just judgment of what to do. What is out there is just judgment. You see a lot of judgment. Your child misbehaves in the public, you're judged. So that's why you feel that way. You're not encouraged, you're judged. And I've said before that encouragement comes from systems set up to actually provide encouragement. Why do we go to church? It is to encourage you to stay and to continue to follow. Why do we go to school? School is supposed to be an encouragement system, not a place to pass exams. And that's where we actually have missed it. Why do we get into systems? It's for the process, for you to be encouraged to learn. Now, what do I do? Which is the crux of the matter today. Number one thing you need to do is that you need to work on your emotions. And this is why we are providing the Master Your Emotions Challenge. All right. And the Master Your Emotions Challenge is starting on October the 11th. But the interesting thing is that we've done the first early bird, we've done the second early bird, and the second early bird is what we are on. On the 1st of October, that second early bird would go off. It's 5,000 naira instead of 10,000 naira. Knowledge is not free. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it. Don't even come and say, oh, I attended one conference free. What you're learning is just a basic. All right. You're not learning what the exactitude of the knowledge. And it is in the process you get results. It's not in the tips and hacks. Okay. So if you want to be part of that Master Your Emotions Challenge this year, the details are on my screen. And if you want to pay directly using a link, you can use the description of this video. Now, if you're paying with a link, that means wherever it is you are in the world, you can pay. This session stream live, and you can always catch replay at your time. You have access to it for months. You do not need to be afraid whether you're going to be available on that day. It's really good to be available, and follow the process and all of that. But if you can, please, there is, a process that provides you with replay. All right? You need to work on your emotions. And again, I say, for you to actually get higher knowledge, there's something called higher knowledge. I remember when we taught the parents honor as a skill. So one of the master classes you're going to attend in the inner circle is learning honor as a skill. When we were done, it was a game changer for almost every parent in the inner circle in that level. So you learn it every year. Even the parents in the other level learn it every year. There are things, you get added, and honor is learned. It's a skill. So instead of teaching your children obedience, you get into the process of honor. And that's higher knowledge. So while you are still reading on social media, tell them to do this, give them instruction. Do not do it. No, we've moved from there. The knowledge that the parenting offers today has moved from there. It is, it's gone far beyond the tips and hacks you're getting there. So again, no, knowledge isn't free. If you're looking for free knowledge, you're going to continue going in circles. Today I shared something on my timeline and on my WhatsApp status. Some people, I was talking about, someone was asking me, oh, so coach, as we're getting into the academy, is it that we will now buy books? You will buy books and you buy more books. There's even no two ways about it. All right? The parents in the academy will tell you, buy books for yourself, for your children. In fact, make a budget. And if you need to sell your wig, I will advise you to sell your wig. Put something in your head, not on the external. Nobody, all this admiration of the external things are just, they are superficial. Don't get me wrong. I do not say that these things are not good. I am only saying that if you want to give up something for something, it should be the superficials. Teach your children learning that's going to transform their lives on earth. And not just, people say, oh, the book is expensive. I bought a book recently and it cost me about 20K or so. And somebody was asking me, oh, where did you get the book from? And all of that. And I said, I cannot. 20,000 for a book. But you're going to sit down in a restaurant and spend the same money. The value system we have is whacked, really. Attend the course. Some parents are coming to me and saying, oh, so the inner circle is 70,000 a year. Oh, 70,000. And I tell them, when you get into the inner circle, you pay 70,000, you pay me extra money when you're done. I'm sure of that. I'm not bragging. Well, if you call it bragging, it's also okay. We've earned the right to brag. All right? You will know that what you have paid is not even equal to anything. Okay? So you need to understand that knowledge is knowledge, and you need to seek it and you need to pay for it. There's no two ways about it. There's no place where, I can, I cannot, and all of that. No. And then you need to teach your children. All right? You need to teach your children what it is to seek knowledge. Really. Investing in yourself. So, work on your emotions. Emotions being able to work on your emotions is one of the greatest tools when it comes to parenting. Because when you work on your emotions, you will be able to practice these things that we're talking about. You will be able to practice these things that we're talking about. So you are going to be able to sit and say, okay, I can think through. I can, without working on your emotions, everything I'm talking about here, you're going to go back home and say, oh, that coach said we should not shout on our children. Oh, I've tried it doesn't work. All these fake people out there, you didn't learn the process. You were there picking tips and hacks. Where here, there, it doesn't work. There's a limitation to what tips and hacks can do for you. So get on the job and begin to work on your emotions. All right, pay for that class. I have attended emotional intelligence classes for the past 10 years every year, and you don't want to hear how much I pay. So that's another conversation altogether. All right, but hey, it is valuable for me. It's made me become more resourceful. It made me become more valuable. It made my relationships better. It's made me my finances better. So it's not just about my parenting. I can see the benefits. So of course, why not if not? Okay. So by the 1st of October, this early bird offer goes off. All right. It goes off and you get to pay 10,000. And trust me, if you pay 10,000 naira, it is still very good. I am not, even joking about it. Okay, it's still worth it. I remember when we did the Sex Educate Your Child like a pro. I remember that a lot of parents came back to me and said, Coach, is this what you charged for Sex Educate? No, I want to pay full money. It happened. Parents bought gifts. Parents paid full money. A parent paid an extra 20,000 naira and said, Coach, you know what? What I learned, I have attended parenting courses. I've never learned any of that. And I have never even been given a system and a structure to actually go on with this. So yes, I am asking you to pay. I'm not giving it for you for free. If you value it, if you know that this is important for you, you want to join the academy, you pay. You want to, get into to work on your emotions, you pay. It's not free. All right. So let's go there. Number 2, your children need routines, rituals, structures, and boundaries. Your children need routines, rituals, structures, and boundaries. How do you do that? It's a system. There's no one course that is going to provide you with how to create system, structure, boundary, rituals. Nah. That's why the inner circle is there. That's what we do. We give you systems that would help you, get all of this interwoven. So children thrive in predictability. Last Tuesday, I said that unpredictability is an enemy of parenting. Somebody help me write that. Unpredictability is an enemy of parenting. Children thrive in predictability, security, safety, and freedom. And all of this, routine, rituals, structures, and boundaries provide them. Let me say that again. Children thrive in predictability, security, safety, and freedom. And all of this, routines, rituals, structures, and boundaries, they provide these things. They provide it. Because you need predictability, you need security, you need safety, you need freedom for your parenting to begin to make sense. Number 3, parent intentionally, not on probability. How do you begin to parent intentionally? You need to pay attention to your system. Pay attention to what you're learning. Parenting intentionally simply means getting knowledge. How much knowledge do you have on this journey? That's the question. How much knowledge do you have on this journey? Do not work on, on probability. Working on probability is intentional parenting is a game changer. It doesn't just change your children, it changes you. And I say that if your parenting isn't changing you, you're parenting the wrong way. Quote me anywhere. If your parenting, this, we are seeing on social media, some people will say, just, I've seen the parents, nothing has changed. Everything about me have remained the same. And I laugh. If your parenting isn't changing you, you're parenting wrongly. My name is Wendy Ologe. Put my name when you quote it. you're parenting wrongly. Intentional parenting changes you. You become, a different, is a system that is, provided that helps you to actually get what it is to help your children through the process. Okay? The next thing you need to do, which is the last, I've said you need to work on your emotions, and I've said that we have tools that can help you. The last one of what you need to do, all right, let me look at my time. The last one of what you need to do is join a parenting academy for accountability and for encouragement. If not, you're going to continue to be discouraged because parenting in itself can be very discouraging. Join a system, and we have provided one for you. The Inner Circle program is an accountability system. It is an encouraging system. And beyond that, it's a system that is built systematically to give you results. So it's not built on whether we are sure, we're not sure. Just try it. No, when we teach, we're not saying, can you just try and do it? Maybe it might work. No, we teach exactitude. Knowledge is knowing with exactitude the outcome of what you are impacting. And that's what we give. All right? And remember, you really cannot give what you do not have. It is what you learn to give. That is what you give. See, even if you're just saying, I tell parents, even if you're just at the corner, right? Even if you're just at the corner, just watching. I know parents who were, who did, even if you do 10% of what is in the academy, your life will be transformed totally, 360 degrees. You can't remain the same person. You cannot. And last year, the parents in the Inner Circle accused me, and they said that the Inner Circle was undermarketed. And I think I agree with them. And this year we decided, okay, we're going to talk about the Inner Circle, for a long time, so that we don't have parents coming to us to say, oh, we didn't hear, it was undermarketed and all of that. So you can see the link in the comment section if you want to book a slot, or you look at the sticker that is going, right under this conversation, and you can take the details to get in. Getting into the Inner Circle will be the best thing that happened to you in this year. Quote me. If it's not, come back to us. All right? Money back guarantee, like they say. Okay, so if you have questions, I have a few minutes, just 2 minutes, you can ask before we begin to round up. I hope that this session has been beneficial to you. If it is, and if it was, all right, just click the like button. And remember to follow our YouTube channel. Remember to also share links with your family and friends. I've seen testimonies of people who shared, about the Inner Circle to their family and friends, and people thanking them. In fact, this morning, a parent in the Inner Circle sent me a voice note. The person said it was her birthday, and one of the things she used to send people was the YouTube channel for them to listen, our YouTube channel. And this parent listened to it. She said, thank you for a birthday gift. Where have this woman been? This woman been? And she was like, but I've been telling you about it. She said, I didn't pay attention. And already, this parent has already registered. She's in the Inner Circle as we speak, and she's on the waiting list. So while you're waiting for, the Inner Circle, you want to complete your money, your 70,000 to pay, and all of it, you can just book your slot with 5,000 naira, non-refundable. Then you can walk through, paying in installments. That's the beauty. But remember that you're going to finish paying all your fees before the 1st of December. Yes. All right. So all your fees must be paid before you get it, before you even start. All right. We have people who have paid full fees. They're already in the cohorts waiting, cooling in the cooler, and the book recommendations have been sent to them. They're already preparing, getting their books, getting ready, and all of that. What are the best tools to use in emotional control? Felicia, that's part of what we're going to be teaching you in the Master Your Emotions Challenge. All right. Of course, that's you're asking for a whole full course. So register for your Master Your Emotions Challenge, and you will learn all of the best tools to use. I have a friend who has a special needs child. Management has been hard. It's affecting her mental health. She needs to get coaching on it. Why special needs, coaches? Let her get help. All this, I know I can do it on my own. You can't. Get help. All right? You can reach out to me. I have a special needs coach that I know that's very good, a medical doctor as well. Can I help her through her journey? But hey, again, it is not free. You pay for it. You must decide what is important to you. All right? Join an accountability group. It's an accountability system. Join the inner circle from a yada in waiting. Omire, a yada in waiting already is prescribing the inner circle. That's a good one. All right. And for the person who has, a person who is talking about special needs child, you need a system also that will help you. What do I do while I wait for Master Your Emotions course? What do you do? Continue to read. Read, connect to correct. In fact, that's one of the great tools, talking about, books. Read, connect to correct. You're going to see some, stuff that will help you in connect to correct. Amazing book, I must say. Read From Yelling to Calm, another book. Read The Discipline That Works, another book. My latest book is coming. It's called, so we have 3 new books. The Independent Thinking Child, Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, Volume 2, How to Love Your Child More. That's, the third one. Amazing books that we're putting in the system this year. And then you have Resolving Sibling Rivalry. We write to actually address parenting issues specifically. So that's why my books are very direct, straight to the point. You read it and you catch fire immediately. You don't need an extra whatever, right? It's just that when you read it in the inner circle, the description is, a whole lot more. We have Walking Your Child Through Puberty. You want to get a copy. We have Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. You want to get a copy. We have our parenting manual, the parenting launch plan. The parents in the inner circle understand when I say parenting launch plan. You can't find it anywhere. It's not on Google. All right, you can only get it on Amazon. It's us that have done it. Yes. So yes, there's a launch plan, there's a manual, there's a system. We'll put that into this, and that will help you, especially for parents in the inner circle. And then for people who often ask me about my husband's book, he has 2 books, Building Your Marriage Plan and the Husband Manual. You can get copies for your marriage system. Thank you. For your marriage, and then all these books are available on Amazon. They are also available everywhere in Nigeria. You want to get a copy, get into our seller, buy the books, reach out to the team. The team will direct you on where to get them, and also pick up wherever it is that you are in the country. All right? So wherever you are in the world, it doesn't stop you from getting copies of our books. All right? It's 3:00. It's 3 minutes after 3, and I need to go. If you need more, all right, you can pay for a one-on-one coaching session. I provide that. Again, it is not free. Don't come to me and say, please, I want you to. No. Part of what you're going to get access to, all right, as being a yada, is you're going to get access to me to ask your one-off questions and all of that, and all of your process. When it gets to the point where we need to put it in a system and you need to meet me a one-on-one, of course, you get a discount as well. But you have access to me to answer your questions daily and all of that. But you're not a yada, sorry. Access to me isn't free. You pay for it. Again, we invest so much to be able to get here. And yes, it is something that we're running as a system to actually help each and every one of us to get to where we are. So the Intentional Parent Academy is an organization. It is a business, it's a system. We have staff, we have systems that run on income. So hey, no, again, it's not free. All right. What we provide free are things like these sessions. Please, by all means, share them. They are free. You have free access to them. And there are too many of them that you can have access to. So do not overshot and begin to ask me, to give you free resources and free all of that after doing that. I think I'm already giving enough. All right. And we have free books littered everywhere. All right. And you can deal with it. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I'm a yada that is starting in December. Can I ask some personal questions? You will ask me personal questions when you become a yada, not before. And some of those personal questions you want to ask will be answered in the yard. So if you want to have access, you can book a session, and trust me, you would have access full blown. And we'll get all your books. All right, Gladys, at your time. Take your time, to get them. Thank you for joining me today. I think you've had enough. Thank you for joining me today. And part of what the benefits you're also going to be getting in the inner circle is that you're going to be helped to build the system. You're going to be helped to look at the things that you read that you think that is just, read and go. No, you have access, direct access to me to explain the things that are bugging you, the things that you just, do not understand. And trust me, that's a lot. All right. If you want to just have access to me one-on-one, you pay $100. And of course, that's also still very cheap as far as I'm concerned. Thank you so much. See you at Master Your Emotions Challenge. If you want to be part of that class, pay and be part of that class. Okay. And that's how to learn. You pay to learn. When you pay, you actually learn and you put your mind to it. Trust me. And you begin to actually go through the process. All right. Thank you so much and have a good week.